a love poem for endangered species. These friends need our help who are swimming in the water. The Nile crocodile and the Congo clawless otter, the American alligator and the Ganges river dolphin, the loggerhead sea turtle and the Utah lake sculpin, the Atlantic gray whale and the Nashville crayfish, the Florida manatee and the Alabama cavefish, the sea mink, golden toad, black caiman, harbor porpoise, swordfish, pupfish, paddlefish, and all seahorses, and of course, the kuiui, the totawaba, and the scarlet sea anemone. These friends need our help who are flying in the sky. The California condor and the large blue butterfly, the golden parakeet and the Belgian floricon, the black-cheeked lovebird and the Trinidad piping guan, the white-tailed hummingbird and the Philippine cockatoo, the red-breasted goose and Tazanowski's tinny-boo, the black mama, marbled teal, yellow foddy, milky stork, Chinese egret, whooping crane, white pelican, and blue-billed duck, and of course the ka-ka, the ko-ka-ko, the ka-ka-poo, and the nuku-poo. These friends need our help who are walking on the land. The Washington giant earthworm, the lion, the orangutan, the Asiatic elephant and the African wild dog, the Syrian golden hamster, the tiger and baa frog, the Tonkin leaf monkey and the bougainvillea giant rat, the slender horned gazelle, the bay and Andean cats, the red panda, Gila monster and Bavarian pine vole, jaguar, cheetah, gorilla, zebra, and water buffalo, and of course the ai, the poodoo, the cod, and the colo. It is harder to build a fish than to build a submarine. It is harder to build a bird than to build a flying machine. It is harder to build a beast than to build an automobile, and it's hard to open the hearts of folks that do not feel. Our politicians say it's too close to make the call, but some of us believe the American dream is killing us all. So let's put our hearts together and sing a common song and tell our politicians, Mother Nature is not a pawn. A silly little rhyming love poem for melody. When a man has spent his worth, lying 6 feet under the earth, body stiff below the ground, looking up towards a mound, topped with flowers just that day, watered with an ocean spray. He thinks about his life gone by, of all the things he did not try. He thinks about how quick to call, and then not seeing his love at all. They rushed him from the car too fast, did not even bother to ask if he wanted to say goodbye to anyone special eye to eye. This man was not the assertive type, didn't go in for all that hype. Now he wanted to change his tune, to feel the heat of a sunny afternoon. He poked his head above the ground, saw trees and meadows all around. He took a swim to clean things off, watched a foursome play some golf. His house was but a short walk away, on the edge of a cliff above a bay. He walked in and saw his love, as beautiful as a morning dove, but could not find the words to say, "Hello, my honey, how's your day?" He sat beside her on the couch, decided not to be a grouch. On this visit he'd always smile, spend some time, hang for a while. He must have yacked for over an hour, touched the face he wanted to devour. He held her in his arms till dark, suddenly knew it was time to embark, lost his heart and began to cry, kissed her on the lips goodbye, said he was sorry he had to die. My dysfunctional baggage clearance sale. I've had two recurring dreams in my life. One, I'm in a large house, always in an attic, always bright and sunny, always lots of windows. I walk down a narrow staircase, boxes on the steps packed tight with dysfunctional baggage. You know the type. I can hardly get through. As I open the door and take a step into my living room, I trip on a box, and as always, I wake up. Second dream. I'm in the same large house, always in the basement, always dark and damp, always only one minuscule window. I walk up a staircase, boxes on the steps packed tight with the same crap. You know the type. I can hardly get through. As I open the door and take a step into my living room, I trip on a box, and as always, I wake up. My shrink tells me my imagination and subconscious are locked in battle, not allowing me to live in my own damn living room. She suggests I get rid of my baggage. So I'm having a dysfunctional baggage clearance sale. Bargains galore. A lifetime of inappropriate anger. $3. Years of pain and confusion. 2 for $1, $5. Several addictions. Take your pick. $1.50 apiece. Immeasurable suffering. Only pennies a day. Discounts on large orders. Cash and carry only. I would like to deliver my dysfunctional baggage face to face, just to make sure I get rid of it. It's never too late. This poem's about Aunt Flo and Uncle Jim. He always loved her, but she never loved him. But they got together anyway when each was about 20 and bought a ranch in West Texas because my Uncle Jim had a plenty. They were married over 50 years with cattle, hogs, and kids. Then in less than 50 hours, their romance hit the skids. When Aunt Flo's high school sweetheart, Too Tall Slim, called on Aunt Flo's 75th birthday and said, "Howdy, y'all." Slim came to visit Flo, and to make a long story short, their flame was rekindled on my Uncle Jim's home court. They played games with Jim to avoid a big fight, then stuck away from the ranch in the middle of the night. Aunt Flo in green nightgown and white tennis shoes, Too Tall Slim with a bum ticker and nothing to lose. They crossed El Rio Grande de Old Mexico and bought a little casita on El Oceano Pacifico. Remember, it's never too late to have fun in your life, especially if you're not husband and wife. My Aunt Flo followed her dreams before her time was up, because she knew in her 70s the end could be abrupt. Loving two men, Uncle Jim and Too Tall Slim, because she was tired of living proper and prim. Yes, she was damn tired of living proper and prim. Now Uncle Jim took the loneliness till about year 3, then wrapped his SUV around an old pecan tree. Aunt Flo went to the funeral and collected Jim's ashes. Too Tall Slim collected the guilt and beat his soul with lashes. When Slim's heart finally gave out, Aunt Flo put him to the flames. Now she sleeps between 2 urns filled with men's remains. On the nightstand to her left rest the ashes of Uncle Jim, and on the nightstand to her right, the ashes of Too Tall Slim. When an author is standing in front of you, When an author is standing in front of you, reading a poem or prose, pull up your very own lounge chair. Get comfortable. Relax. Now, leave your body behind. Reduce your spirit to 1 inch. Only 1 inch, not 2. Set aside your ego and stand on the floor near your feet. Next, cross the room. Climb onto the author's foot, up a leg, an arm, a shoulder, a neck. Climb again and stand on top of the author's hair, shaved head, or wig. With dental floss, rappel down and sit inside a glistening or waxy ear. Then sashay over to a bushy or painted eyebrow. Now, jump to the tip of the author's bulbous or pointed nose. Crawl down to the center of the author's thin or thick lower lip. Next, slide down and stand on the author's square or round chin. From this vista, turn around. Look back at yourself, relaxing in your very own lounge chair, looking up at the author's face, looking up at the author's eyes, looking up at yourself, standing on the author's chin. When the author speaks, listen to the resonance of the author's fluttering pink tongue. This author is trying to explain. Prose is his father, poetry his mother. Turn around again. Focus on the author's opening and closing mouth. Peek inside the moist, expanding and contracting chamber. Quiver with the high and low notes of the author's music. Quiver with the pulse of the author's fluttering pink tongue. Turn around one last time. Look back at yourself, relaxing in your very own lounge chair. Now, let's soar on the voice waves of the author's fluttering pink tongue. Ready, set, flap your wings. Now go. Fly, fly, fly. Back to yourself. Fuse into yourself, relaxing in your very own lounge chair, looking up at the author standing in front of you. An Old Rosewood Cane, 1947. The sky was blue, the sun hot, the clouds white, the water cool. Short, squat Dr. Chicky, 71, was sitting on a beach of fine white sand on the shoreline of Lake Huron in Michigan, his body lightly tanned as he sipped mint tea, read exotic passages from a D.H. Lawrence book, and occasionally thought of the accident and the driver who almost took his life and left, in fact, both legs from ankles to thighs in solid plaster cast. Now he hobbled around with 2 old rosewood canes, obviously not very fast. Johnny, 6, and Danny, 9, were playing pirate ship on a driftwood raft. 2 skinny white boys in dark swim trunks, one on the bow, the other aft. When a strong gust of wind suddenly grabbed their ship and began to carry it out to sea, Danny jumped off and swam to shore while Johnny screamed, "Help me! I don't want to go to Canada." "Jump off, stupid." And so little Johnny did. Into water over his head, he could not swim, this over-trusting, innocent kid. Dr. Chicky heard the plea, "Help me!" and glanced in the direction of the cry, arose to his feet with the aid of both canes, braced his wobbly broken legs to try and save Johnny, who coughed, spit, and screamed, "Help me!" one last time. The old man dragged his broken legs across the hot sand until he reached the water line, waded in, stumbled over stones, felt a cool wetness creep down his plaster cast. Water at his chin, he breathed in, lowered his head, left hand holding a single cane fast. Johnny lay face up, head to shore, on the bottom of the lake. The boy looked dead. Dr. Chicky resurfaced, breathed in, ducked back under. The water was over his head and he could not swim, afraid his very last breath would come from within. He turned his cane end to end, lunged forward, lunged again deeper, hooked the thin, round handle of the cane on the armpit of the boy, and slowly dragged him back towards the beach. His deflated lungs now burning with pain, thoughts black, the exhausted Dr. Chicky looked up and saw the sun shimmering far above the surface. Then let his hand slip away from the old rosewood cane. He loved Johnny, but could not, would not die for him. Arms pumping, eyes open to death, cast water love, mind screaming upward to the air of the sky. And one more breath. Several hands then touched his weary body and the body of the small boy and pulled him back to the safety of the fine white sand beach, but with little joy, until, face down and aside, after respiration from Dr. Chicky, Johnny heaved. I, 3, standing near the water, was watching as my brother coughed, blinked, breathed.